So the Democratic strategy of distract, distract, distract is getting old. It's not working. American people are not listening to this ridiculous argument. They're worried about their health care. And they're angry at the people who caused them to lose their policies. In my state, 280,000 have lost their policies. And on the exchange, 26,000 have been able to get private policies. The rest of them are all Medicaid recipients. The Democratic playbook of broken promises, double standards, and raw power, the same playbook that got us Obamacare, has got to end. And with the help of the American people, we'll end it a year from now. Meanwhile, Republicans are going to keep pushing back to get back to the drawing board on health care, to replace Obamacare with real reforms that help rather than punish the middle class. Now, I'm, Mr. President, at this point going to refer to some constituent letters that I've gotten that I think the Senate would find noteworthy related to Obamacare. Here's a letter from a constituent in Bowling Green. I'm a 35-year-old college graduate and represent many hardworking middle-class Kentuckians who are being directly impacted by Obamacare. I'm a married father of 2 young children. We are, by most accounts, an average American family. Before Obamacare was passed, my family was insured through a health insurance policy purchased on the open market. We shopped several different policies and chose the one that was the best fit for our needs. Recently received a notice from our insurer that our plan didn't meet the requirements of the new health care law. According to the letter, we were required by law to be transitioned into a plan that did meet those new requirements. Also included in the letter was our new premium, and that shocked us. According to the letter, our premiums would be increased 124%, more than double what we had budgeted for this expense. According to a speech by the Vice President on September the 27th of this year, a family of 4 earning $50,000 a year could get coverage for as little as $106 a month. Should I have to pay 8 times that amount because my wife and I both work hard to provide for our family and earn more than the Vice President's limit of $50,000 a year? Why should the price of a product be based on my ability to pay? Very good question. Why should the price of a product be based upon my ability to pay? Would that work at the gas station? Should the price of a gallon of gas be decided by my income tax return? Or at the grocery store? Should the price of a gallon of milk be determined by my income tax return? Or in shopping for a home loan? Should the interest rate on my mortgage be higher if I earn more than $50,000 a year? This predatory pricing structure runs contrary to the basic American foundation principles of free enterprise and is illegal in every other marketplace. It should be illegal in healthcare, too. Larry Thompson from Lexington. My health plan that I've had for 10 years just got canceled. And the least expensive plan on the exchange, listen to this, is a 246% increase. That means hundreds of extra dollars per month we don't have. Obama lied and made a promise he couldn't keep when he said repeatedly that if we wanted to keep our current health care policy, we could. That's what Mr. Thompson from Lexington said. He has really affected our lives for the worse. Much worse. I am so mad. We must stop insurance companies from canceling policies now. And of course, the reason they're having to cancel policies is because the law makes them. Sherry Harris from Nicholasville in my state. Did you know the Lake Cumberland Hospital in Somerset is not on the Anthem network? Which means anybody in Pulaski and surrounding counties that qualify for a subsidy and want to use it will have to drive to London, Corbin, or Lexington to get care. Do you seriously believe when this comes to the attention of the citizens, they are going to appreciate you voting it back in the budget? Please be sure you know what you are voting for. It may be too late for you. I'm surprised you took that step instead of standing up for what is right. Harriet White from Rockfield, which is in Warren County near Bowling Green. Dear Senator McConnell, I'm deeply upset because of the effect the Health Care Act has had on our family's health insurance. It's negatively impacted our finances and our quality of care. The President promised that if you had health care, you would not be impacted. The sad truth is that, like my coworkers, my deductible has doubled along with my premiums. The only way to be able to adjust is for us to either reduce or stop our 401k contributions. This is hardly affordable health care. I don't understand why such a blatant lie has been allowed to go this far. Do we not, as American citizens, have the right to choose basic services? I don't think the government should make choices for the people that impact us in such a negative way. Thank you for your time, and please keep fighting this gross abuse of power. Aaron McLemore from Louisville. Seeing as I'm a single male, 31, policy being canceled, by the way, with no kids or dependents, and I'm paying for pediatric dental care and maternity care, doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. As a single male, age 31, having to pay for pediatric dental care and maternity care, doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. He makes more than $100,000 a year and doesn't qualify for a subsidy on the Obama exchange. So this 31-year-old's current policy is being canceled. A new policy from the exchange will more than double his monthly premium and nearly double his yearly out-of-pocket maximum. His higher costs aren't subsidizing lower-income policyholders whose subsidies already been paid by the government, but he's providing a subsidy in another way. The new act requires him to buy a policy with features he doesn't need. Here's what he said: seeing as I'm a single male with no kids or dependents, and I'm paying for pediatric dental care and maternity care, doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, he said. What Obamacare is doing is moving McLemore out of the individual market, where people are sorted by age and health history and scope of coverage, to a market more like the traditional employer-based group policy in which young and old workers get the same coverage and pay the same premium. Mr. and Ms. Spears from Louisville. I think you should know, they say, what's going on here in Kentucky with Connect. That's the website. I had to sign my wife up since our governor canceled all of our policies effective January 1, 14. I signed up through the benefits firm advertising them that I wanted no subsidies since we have already paid our way in 42 years of marriage. He told me the full pay option of $517 per month and advised that no income verification was necessary since no subsidies were involved. So I chose the Kentucky co-op plan as I felt the monies would stay in Kentucky with this plan. He went on, Mr. President, he said, and then I received 4 mailings from Connect, one stating she was declined coverage unless I sent income verifications. Also one stating I have to fill out a voter registration and return as they have no information on my voting record. So what is whether you're registered to vote or not, have to do with signing up for Obamacare. I called Connect today and advised them I'm receiving no subsidies and do not feel I should be required to send this information to them. And if they wanted this information, I file taxes every year and would be easily assessed. In regards to voter registration, I advise this has nothing to do with health care registration, and I strongly object to language linking the two in the letter. Any clear-thinking person would be upset at our state government trying to bring voter registration into this mess, not to mention personnel information they should not need since no subsidies are involved. The stories go on and on. Lana Lynch from Brandenburg. My out-of-pocket expenses for my family of 5 went from $1,500 a year to $7,000 a year. The best policy that is available by my employer has a $7,000 out-of-pocket a year provision, and she works for a very large healthcare provider. Janine Gentry from Elkron. We're covered under my husband's policy through his employer. We have not found out exactly how much the premium is going to rise, but have been told to expect between 150 and 300% increase per paycheck. We do know for certain that our deductible will rise from $5,000 annually to $8,500 annually. Ann Nauer from Shepherdsville. I received my insurance papers from United Healthcare and found that my premiums had risen from $214 to $480 a month. I only get $1,181 in Social Security a month. That's after my Medicare payment. So I went online to see if I could get my husband signed up for this ACA insurance. I filled out the information, but was told that what I stated for our income was incorrect, and that I needed to send in proof of my income. Then they insisted that we fill out this form about voter registration. Voter registration. We're already registered to vote and felt this was completely unnecessary. The form did have a spot that stated we were already registered, but I just don't trust the website, so we declined. We got forms in the mail anyway. I'm just going to stick with my old insurance and pay the higher premiums because I know what it covers. I have Medicare and United Healthcare. I've kept this insurance because of my husband, who is also retired but not covered under any other insurance. My insurance came from my job that I had before I retired as part of a retirement package. And McConne from Prestonsburg, and I might say Prestonsburg is in eastern Kentucky in the heart of Appalachia, which is also suffering a depression as a result of this administration's war on coal. So this person who corresponded with me is also in the middle of a depression, depression-riddled part of my state, created also by the Obama administration. Here's what he said. A policy that has similar coverage to what we had would cost us around $1,100 a month. This is a 100% increase for me and my wife. I was informed by the individual, I guess, that was helping me find coverage, that it was because we live in eastern Kentucky, and our insurance company apparently is not available there. Says we're not going to pay that. Don't blame him. Giselle Martino of Prospect. My premium health care at premium cost to me is being canceled. I paid a very high premium to have a major medical plan. I'm now forced into the exchange for a lesser plan with more exclusions and higher deductibles. I will most likely never reach these deductibles, so how does this help me? I'm basically paying into a plan for others. If I must pay for my higher tier heart drugs anyway, why should I bother with the health plan? What a disappointment this administration has caused. Cheryl Russell from Owensboro. We got a letter from our insurance company saying our current policy will not meet the Affordable Care Act, which means it'll go away. According to our insurance company, we will have to take pediatric dental and vision insurance. Pediatric dental and vision insurance. We don't have any kids, she said. They said it was because of Obamacare. They're allowing us to keep our plan until December 2014 for an additional $38 more a month so we can find another plan. Another plan through this company that we had our whole life will cost us at least $900 to $1,000 a month. It will cost us over $150 more a month, plus, listen to this, plus our deductible goes up to $5,700. I sent you a message last week, she says to me, I'm sending this again, please keep taking a stand against Obamacare. Our president lied to us, she said. Our president lied to us. Not only are we going to lose our insurance, but when we go to a different policy, we have to pay more. We'll never be able to retire. We are 58 and 56 years old. We will have to work the rest of our lives just to pay for our own insurance. The company we work for doesn't provide it. This isn't fair, and it isn't right. Thanks for taking a stand for all of us who are in Kentucky.